How you doing, folks? I'm Gary and this is Cult's Drummer. Welcome along to another wee episode of Going Round the Blends, where I have a look at some of the blended scotches, blended whiskies, blended malts, however you want to go through it here in Scotland. And for this wee episode, what I've grabbed is a bottle of Dewars White Label. Get this one in the glass and we'll have a wee chat. Now, those of you that are watching on me on the channel, you'll know that me and blended whiskies ain't particularly something that I hit a lot of the time. I have the occasional sort of delve into some of them, and particularly when I'm here on the channel, I've looked at about 5 or 6 different blends. This one is slightly different in that it's a blend I actually use more often than some of the other ones. Now, Dewars as a brand, as a label, has quite a lot of sort of whiskies within their brand name. There's Aberfeldy, there is Royal Bracla, and then you've got the version that just Dewars White Label. There's illicit cask, there's Portuguese, this, that, next. So there's quite a lot of them out there. So if you want to have a look at Dewars, please run off, have a wee look at the various things that you'll get out there from them. Dewars White Label is one of these whiskies that's been around for quite a long time. As a blended scotch, it's said that there's up to 40 different malts and grains contained within this to make this blend that comes out. And this blend has been around for years. You can go on to the internet, do a search for Dewars White Label, maybe go onto images, and you'll see labels going back for years and years on this particular blend. What is the 40 whiskies that's inside it? You know, I don't suppose anybody really knows. It's probably changed a bit over the years. It's said that Aberfeldy, which is the home of Dewars, it's said that there's a sort of base of Aberfeldy to this whisky. Whether that's true or not, it's not something I know. It's just something that I've seen, I've read, I've heard people talk about. Now, as I said, this one is one I use quite a lot. I quite like putting White Label into some of my cocktails and things when I make them. It's a whiskey that I think has got a decent sort of base to it for use in cocktails. And I actually read somewhere today that out in, I think it's Japan, it's the preferred whiskey for use in some of their cocktails out there. Let's have a wee sniff and a wee taste, see what it's like. There's nothing harsh on the nose. It's a 40% whiskey. There's a bit of vanilla coming in there. I almost want to say there's a bit of nutmeg or something like that on it. Fruity, raisins, not unpleasant. Quite for want of another word, it's quite a smooth nose. Have a wee sip. I've seen people, when they write their notes on this, or when you read the blurbs online, you know, the selling blurbs, they'll often use this word smooth. I don't think it's particularly a smooth whiskey. I don't think it's harsh or anything, but it's not, for me, it's not as smooth as some others that I've had there. The taste there for me again is quite vanilla forward, malty to an edge. It's not a very long finish on it. I think one of the reasons I kind of like it as a whiskey for using in sort of cocktails, and you know, when I'm sitting in the garden and I fancy a whiskey and ginger or something like that, even a whiskey and lemonade, I don't think it destroys the taste of some of the other things you're adding. Quite often with me in a cocktail, I like to taste what else I'm adding to it and not just the whiskey. So I think this one complements things as you add them in a cocktail. So for me, it's Dewars White Label is quite a good base for a cocktail. not an expensive whiskey. The bottle I've got there is slightly older. It's a couple of years old. It's been sat on the shelf because I only really use it during the summer months for the, like I said, for my whiskey ginger, my favourite. But even then, it's 20, 23, 24 pound, something in that region. Not expensive. But I'll be honest, you don't often see it on a lot of your sort of market shelves. It might be one that you'd have to go to a specific whiskey shop for or order online if you want to give it a go. But guys, Dewars White Label as a blend, my preferred blend. Maybe you want to give it a wee sip and see how it goes for you. Slange.